as we also now take a look at the in-game equipment.
What the Diggy does to your lane, man. It does seem that, CW is still able to find a
Keyboy here, extended a little bit too far, first blood for D7, Keyboy goes down. CW as well as Kyrie is still here.
Oh, Boots?
Boots doing very low, ATM gets the kill, 2 kills for Burn X Flash, and now Kyrie wants to go in. Kyrie wants the kill, Donut is surprisingly low, and it looks like Kyrie's not gonna get it for himself. Right now, ONIC, even the minion is down, they can't push, Sans has to flicker away.
They're being overwhelmed right now. ONIC are losing on all fronts. It's happening again, LaFell. And on top of that, they're going to be able to take the turtle.
Right now, looking at this Keyboy 1v1ing Chuma. Chuma level 7, Keyboy level 5, but this is a roamer. Chuma wants to take that fight. And right now, looking at the gold, even though they have 2 kills and 2 turtles, only 1,000 gold lead. It's not as big as I thought they would get.
But I love how Burnix Flash is playing right now, right? Because usually they're very aggressive when they're given a roamer that can create those kinds of situations happen, but they're on a Diggy who is quote-unquote a little bit more passive than something as crazy as an Atlas, but even then, they're still able to make it work. Like you mentioned, 1,000 gold leads so far. They haven't been able, they're not allowing ONIC to get any of the resources in all the lanes.
It's like Burnex Flash is just staying true to what Burnex Flash was able to do in MPL Cambodia. Meanwhile, for ONIC, they're experimenting a whole lot, and we'll see how this transitions into the mid game, because so far it isn't looking too hot, but Bruce is doing pretty well here in the XP lane despite getting picked off. And this is again that mid game power spike that we need to talk about for ONIC. Burnex Flash have that early game, they were able to get it. San's gonna get bursted by a bit.
Yeah, right now he has to use the call, and D7 is so low. CW gets the kill. Donut tries to run away. Keyboy stuns him down. Kyrie uses the retribution, but Sans secures the kill. And right now, ONIC, now they have a small lead in terms of gold, and they managed to take down the turret.
All right, things are going in a different direction now. Chima, though.
Ma goes in. He wants Keyboy, and Keyboy moves around. He was able to dodge it and able to get away. Right now, ONIC and Burnix Flash, it looks like they're testing the waters, making sure that, okay, how much damage can you deal? How much damage can I deal?
Looking at the compositions here, and especially for the in-game equipment with Hunter Strike equipped, it does seem like, again, for Kyrie, he still wants to stick to that Heptases. He wants to go for the Heptases first here to deal some more damage. Wants to go for those assassination plays, and again, it's that mid-game power spike that we just talked about. For ONIC, this is the time where they can actually contest for some turtles, and you can already see a very creative lane swap or rotation from ONIC all the way 5-man top.
Kyrie goes to the backside, finds Donut. Donut is so low, but Kyrie able to run away. Chuma as well as ATM, front lining for the team. Real manipulation for both teams, but look at Zcat. Zcat is so low. Chuma gets the kill up to Boots, and right now Kyrie is looking at the turtle. Chuma gets the turtle, and now Kyrie tries to run away. He managed to get D7 on the back end, and Zcat gets the kill again. Zcat now is at the front. Keyboy, double kill for Zcat, and now CW has been zoned away. The fight is over. An advantage for Burnix Flash.
This is a disaster for the Yellow Porcupines. They lost almost all of their members, and they had to give the neutral objective away to Burn X Flash. What is going on? What are ONIC doing?
See, they could stay calm earlier, but now is where they need to be concerned. They lost a mid-game power spike fight for themselves. Kyrie missing the retry, a few missed mechanics happening throughout the team fight here, and you can see just that positioning was not enough. Keyboy wasn't zoning anyone away from the turtle, and there's a lot of miscommunications happening from ONIC that gave Burnix Flash such a massive edge. Not also to point out that Donut was just mechanically sound in that skirmish.
I gotta say as well, man, D7 is taking care of Donut so well because he's always front lining, making sure that he absorbs the shadow coming out of Hayabusa. And looking at the items as well, having the dominance eye in the early stages of the game, it looks like just having that makes it so that you're tanky enough to deal with the Hayabusa that has the Hunter Strike. It seems like here, he actually maneuvered away from the Heptases. He's going for a POD, I believe. Kyrie is going full damage here, and he's trying to just, I feel like, bank on the fact, double down, that he can try to kill Donut.
He has to be careful though, because Burnix Flash in the mid-game now, they're always going to be grouped up. It's never going to be Donut alone.
So right now, very simple question. If both teams scale up, who has the advantage here?
Oh, I would actually say it's Burnix Flash, because obviously for ONIC, they do have damage, but Burn X Flash can bait out a lot more resources from ONIC than ONIC can from Burn X Flash. The only thing that ONIC can bait out is probably that time journey, right? Meanwhile, for Burn X Flash, they go for one good engage, they catch one good member, and ONIC's comp will have to retaliate with a full all-in. They need to go in, or they're gonna get poked down and they're going to fall.
Let's see, right? You can see that the Lord has already spawned here in the Land of Dawn. Burn X Flash, they're gonna try and set up for it first, but remember the top lane is going to be pushing for boots, so that definitely is something that BXF need to take care of. They need to be understanding of the presence of the map, but here we go. Are they gonna go for a pickoff?
We're actually looking at the bottom side because Boots here was able to actually steal away their bubble bomb. And now, again, this is where the arena starts to get online, where you can spam all your skills.
Exactly.
Real manipulation used by CCAT, but unable to take down CW.
ONIC are still actually holding on to the gold lead despite losing that mid-game skirmish, and this just goes to show how efficient they are at farming. CW, Sans, and Kyrie, they're able to still withstand and actually have an equal level with a good shot from CW. Also, that poke will definitely help them in the fights to come. They need to target it properly though, because ATM and Tama can just soak in this damage and come back, sustain, and force a full-on team fight.
And on top of that, right, we're talking about not just the way that they're able to be efficient in the jungle, but the fact that they have more map presence because of the Uranus. Boots is going to be able to move around the map a lot quicker, put some pressure on those side lanes, and actually prevent a setup coming in from Burn X Flash. And you can see, ATM
getting targeted. Final slash has been used, but Keyboy's the one that's low. CW secures the kill. Tremont gets Keyboy down. Sans is down as well. Boots is taking full damage from Donut. He has to run away. Kyrie goes in. Gets the shadow on one of the members of Burn X Flash. CCAT tries to get CW, but CW so far has been positioning well. Right now, the Lord has been started by Burn X Flash. Kyrie is looking at the team. Boots taking a lot of damage. He goes down. Mega kill for Chama, and CCAT gets CW. Killing spree. Kyrie wants the revenge, but look at CCAT. He's still alive. The members helping him out. Kyrie gets caught. Donut gets the kill. Burn X Flash secures the Lord.
No way did that just happen. What? All 5 members coming from ONIC, they go down. That was a brilliant team fight by Burn X
To the crowd.
D7 was insane mechanically there as well. Really good cover onto Donut. And do we have to mention CCAT?
Burn X Flash and the Cambodian crowd are starting to erupt here in the Aeon Arena. And LaFell, back at it again. If we try to analyze what happened in that team fight, it was mostly just ONIC going in one by one, overcommitting, not using their flickers. And even for Kyrie, the most uncharacteristic I've ever seen from Kyrie, miscalculating the shadow kill to a point where his quad shadow disappeared right after the shadow kill is done.
That's an instant 4,000
I haven't seen that ever
gold lead.
for this man.
That's why. Nerves getting to him. What's going on with ONIC once again? But you can see here, the Lord is going to be marching in that mid side. Luckily, ONIC does still have the high ground, still going to be able to clear. But Keyboy, do they want to go for it?
Keyboy final slashes. The Boost tries to pull everyone away. ATM frontlining for Burn X Flash, and he's able to run away. Keyboy actually a pretty good engage, getting 2, but looks like the damage is still not enough for ONIC. Just now, the goal difference, not that different now. It's a 4K difference for Burn X Flash.
And it's reflected here in the itemization. For the in-game equipment, you can already see Lancelot is going for that War Axe and Thunderbell, so a little bit more of an aggressive route here. And meanwhile, for Donut, this is exactly what you want to do up against an assassin as well. You finish up the corrosion side, go to the golden staff. Usually you would go for the DHS, but he opts to go for Wind of Nature.
I want to talk about Dreadnought as well. 2 Dreadnoughts, one on the Lancelot, one on the Fredrin, and a full-on anti-Cuirass on the Diggy. So we're talking about the itemization getting buffed. Looks like even Kyrie will get affected.
That's it. That's what I was worried about, right? Because we saw the differences in damage from just even the Dreadnought only, and if you have the anti-Cuirass on top of it, it feels like that damage could be negated, especially now that ONIC is under. They're not leading here, so they're not ahead at the moment, and you can actually see the disparity in damage, and Kyrie can't really pull off what he's usually accustomed. too.
ONIC have been, honestly, it feels like they've been autopiloting. They've just been going for these 5v5s and Burning Splash are forcing it out of them. Meanwhile, ONIC, this composition should be built around split pushing. It should be built around the banana split that Coach Eb is notorious for.
Right now, looking at the situation, I kind of feel like ONIC, they're understanding that they're probably autopiloting as well, so they're trying to figure out, like, okay, what do we do here? They're
back on track.
They're buying their time. They're like, okay, let's farm up for a little bit. What items do you guys want? Once we get it, then we'll figure something out. Maybe fight the next Lord. But I kind of feel like the question is, how are they going to engage? Because so far, the engages is coming in from T-Boy, but he's not really getting those key targets. And as long as Burnex Flash is positioning well, it's not gonna happen, man.
They're still opting to go for these big team fights, though. They're still trying to position in a way where they're grouped up. Boots hasn't really been able to be that threat in the side lane, but T-Boy goes in.
Yep, he won ATM first, but ATM has the pressure and can take a lot of damage right now. Chima has a lot of stacks on his War Axe, and it looks like Sans has been faded out. ATM goes down. CW, what a beautiful snipe. But now, ONIC, they don't have that big ult. Burnex Flash, do you want to go back in and try to contest this Lord?
It looks like they're kind of, just levitating here, hovering. Oh, Sans.
Oh, Sans getting very, very low. D7 tries to catch him, but now Sans low. CW low. Kyrie is looking for a switch where he can't go in. Chima tries to fight against Kyrie. Kyrie is super low. Unstoppable! Uncontested right now. Chima secured the Lord, and now Zcat is looking at T-Boy. Do they want to force this fight? Looks like Burnex Flash, they want to go for the safer route and actually reset and push with the Lord.
That was a risk that ONIC took that did not pay off for them in the end. Chima, did you see that decision making?
I would say it wasn't a risk that ONIC took. They were very well in the right zone to go for that Lord. They had a one-man advantage. It was a risk that Burnex Flash took. They turned the tides around so well, and you can see it again here. Firstly, it started with Zcat with that beautiful real-world information that we're not going to get to see here, but that made the opening, that created the chance for Chima to actually dive in. Because CW was nowhere to be seen. Sans was super low, and they are capitalizing.
Speaking of low, Boots taking quite a lot of damage from Donut. CW almost gets to get the down. Chima gets him, and now removing the shape by Zcat. Sans is zoned out. The Lord marches in. The top tower is in danger. Keyboy goes in, gets constant, and looks like he's able to use the final slash, but he is all alone. Keyboy gets to get out. Only Sans, Boots, and Kyrie is alive. But look at Burnex Flash. They're looking at game number one. They want to secure this. The Lord has been taken down. Ogi Shadow Kill's not doing anything except clearing the minions. And now, with 1 minion left, Burnex Flash, you want to try to end this. Boots goes in. Chima is down. Shut down. Boots, double kill. And now Zcat gets Kyrie. The face will blow.
Oh my God!
Maniac for Boots. Maniac in the first game of MSC2023.
This could be it. This could be it. They could go for one straight push. 20 seconds on the set timers. That's the quickest one. That's ATM. ONIC are booking it.
Can they do it? Can they do it?
Dude, let's
Okay,
do
we're
it.
going for it.
They have the minions. They have CW. I feel
10
like they
seconds.
can do it.
They can do it.
Boots is just tanking. The minions are
5
going
seconds.
in. The minions are going
way.
in. ATM is up. No. The minions are here. The minions are here. ONIC, I don't think they can end this.
Oh my God! What was
Okay.
that?
This is how you start MSC. And the
beautiful.
crowd are loving it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We'll take a look at the instant replay here in just a few seconds. But that was so close to the end for both of the teams. But we got to mention Boots here.
Boots, not only was he dealing damage, acting as a front line, but he was actually, his main objective for him was taking the minion aggro so that it does not come into range, while also simultaneously building those stacks on these opponents, getting so much damage, and Maniac on Uranus, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Dude, the Ionic Edge. But the thing is, I saw the interaction. We talked about this before the game starts. I saw Donut using the Wind of Nature. What can that do against the Uranus? And this is one of the reasons why you want to pick up the Uranus, just because of the magic damage. Sure, you got Wind of Nature, that's a cool item and all, but I clearly don't care. Burnex Flash starts the Lord. Kyrie starting super low. ATM following everyone. He's gonna go down. No, he does not. No, he does not. D7 saves the life of ATM.
ONIC were able to hold on, but with this Lord coming in, it should be an evolved one. this time around, I don't know if they can.
I don't know either. I guess their only solution at this point is to try and go for a split maybe, but even that is difficult to attain. Taking a look at the in-game items here in the 18th minute of the game.
Interesting choice here for Kyrie as well. He's going for cooldown. And again, also the rose gold meteor, so he's forced to kind of build a bit more defensively as well. But I honestly feel like the damage is just not visible. This high and dry is completely negated because Burnix Flash have been playing just fully front to back, all 5 together. Now, I feel like ONIC actually cleared the wave in a way where they actually are forcing Burnix Flash to split, and this is their chance, but they have to be careful.
Super low, he still has the immortality. It hasn't been off just yet. Real woman manipulation turned on. Kyrie gets caught. He still survives. ATM couldn't do anything. Boots has his immortality pop. T-Boy, the front line goes there. He's gonna get taken out. No, he's still alive. CW is standing base there. Double kill for Kyrie. Kyrie wants to go for more. Okay, shadow kill. Enough to get 3. Kyrie right now. Donut is low. Boots, if he wants to get a triple kill here, he sees C-Cat. C-Cat, where are you going? Unstoppable. He's saving ONIC right now. Shuma running for his life.
Donut.
No one sees Donut. ONIC, they're out of their base. No one's protecting it. Donut goes in. Donut, do you have your winner nature? Do you have your winner nature? Do you have your winner nature? Donut 1v1. Game-Boy is there. They can't do anything. Burn.
Oh my god.
Go.
The yellow
ONIC Indo.